Hi, Karen from Quantum Heart Awakening. This is going to be a Divine Feminine check-in. I am traveling, so I am working with a limited setup. I'm sure you could tell things look different, things probably sound different. So yeah, bear with me as we drop in. Right now I am in North Carolina and it is beautiful up in the mountains and it's a little chilly, but it's lovely. You will also hear some doggies possibly in the background, so bear with me. Okay, Divine Feminines, we have pride, abundance, spiritual career again in reverse, parenting, surrender, and manifestation in the unconscious. So you've heard me talk about these false shadows. So when I have a reversal in the unconscious position, for me, that's a false shadow, meaning you're pushing something into the unconscious that you think you want to manifest, but it's really not the thing. It's not going to satiate the soul as much as you think it's going to. So you're being called to surrender a bit about what it looks like, how it arrives, and what it's going to mean to you. So there's something here about letting go of any sort of unmet desires that you have been kind of flowing with for quite a while. These feel like a very old desire, something that's maybe been even pushed into the shadow since your childhood. There's something here about this long-term desire, and I'm calling upon the Divine Feminine. So just, oops, sorry, I'm shaking everything. Calling upon the Divine Feminines not to put all your eggs in this one manifestation basket. There's something here of it's not going to look like what you think it is. It's not going to be what you thought it was supposed to be. So you're calling to call your spirit back from all of that so that you can utilize all of that sacred life force in the present moment. Okay, beautiful. We also have pride and abundance, spiritual career in reverse, and parenting. So this came up in the collective reading. Feminines, is there a spiritual gift that you've been sitting on? Is there a spiritual gift that you've been pushing into the shadows, not claiming out loud? You are being called to step into the role as the divine parent and parent the parts of you that have fears or are reluctant to take a step toward this, whatever this is for you, this spiritual career. I mean, gosh, that's such a broad umbrella phrase, right? A spiritual career could be anything. Maybe some of you are incredible speakers, highly motivating, incredible writers. Maybe you're the best Reiki practitioner or sound healer or breathwork facilitator. Or maybe you do oracle cards or tarot or runes, or maybe you are an incredible medium or clairvoyant or something. There's something here about stepping deeper into your authentic self-expression in your spiritual life. You're being called to parent, again, the parts of you that maybe thought this was never a possibility, that maybe thought it wasn't sustainable or a reliable source of abundance in some capacity. Sure, that abundance could mean financial, but it could also mean spiritual, it could be energetic. It could be, maybe you thought if you have a family or if you have a business that you never thought you could actually sustain your life as it is while stepping into this spiritual career. I'm waiting for spirit to actually, it's funny, I'm staring out at these beautiful, stunning, like this huge forest right across the street from my friend's parents' house. It's so beautiful. And I'm just watching how the wind kicks up and just makes everything come alive, and all the trees are dancing with one another. And I'm almost waiting for spirit to give me a more clear image around what the spiritual career is. And remember, I want to honor that we're reading for the collective feminine. So this also could be learning to re-embrace, it's funny, I just said re-embrace. So maybe we're circling back to a time where we're embracing a place where we've already been that maybe we've denied. Collectively, it's been hard, right? With the feminine and masculine energies on the planet and operating under a patriarchal kind of structure. That patriarchal structure for hundreds of years has been incredibly damaging and limiting, not just to the feminines, but to the healthy, divine, conscious relating, right? We've been in repair mode. We've just been uncovering all the trauma that all of these power dynamics have created. And it's hard and it's sad and it's diminishing of spirit. And it's all these very dense things that we're having to sift through now. But there's something here, feminines. Okay, I'm getting the message. It's coming through a little bit clearer. Thank you, Spirit. Feminines, you're being called to, even at times, really make sure that your inner masculine is supporting your inner feminine, to maybe allow your inner masculine to parent or father these different wounded parts, these scared parts, the parts that are in disbelief, the parts that don't have faith, the parts that feel, oh, other people can do that, but not me, or that success is for them, but it's not me. Any sort of limiting belief, you're being called to allow your inner masculine to step into that kind of strong, structured, firm, foundational place that the masculines can do so well when they're in that kind of grounded, aligned, resonating, supportive place. Yeah, feminines, you're also being called to take pride in whatever these gifts are that you have. It's really easy. I'm going to say it again. It's really easy growing up in a patriarchal dynamic where society valued things that were inherently masculine, right? I'm sure you've noticed this in the workplace and in different other, a million other places. But, so much of the collective feminine has had to be in their hyper masculinity in order to kind of survive, right? In order to compete, maybe in the job market, in your career, maybe it's been financially. I think feminines collectively have felt, okay, if this system is not working with me, then I have to work the system and I have to step into that kind of lean more heavily into my inner masculine to be a success, whatever that means for you, to survive, to be accomplished, to pay my bills, to fill in the blank, So there's something here about reclaiming the feminine way, the feminine gifts, taking pride in the feminine flow, taking pride in the feminine pace of things. The feminine sits on her throne. The feminine is very deeply comfortable in the mystery. The feminine leans back in her throne, knowing it will always be there for her. The feminine trusts in herself, in her root, in her heart, in her divine knowing, in her gnosis, right? The feminine magnetizes that which she needs to her throne, to her kingdom. You don't leave your seat, right? The feminine does not have to leave her seat in order to affect great, profound change. The feminine works in the mystery, in the darkness, in that which is hidden. This is the moon energy, right? The moon illuminates the darkness. We're very comfortable. Feminines are very comfortable when crap is hitting the fan. We trust. We have access to a greater wisdom, an understanding, a deeper understanding of this interconnected nature, this oneness, right? So feminines, you're also being called, excuse me, I'm getting ahead of myself. My mouth can't keep up with my brain. Feminines, you're being called to parent the parts of you that have succumbed to patriarchal pressures. I don't mean to I don't want to pin this on like the patriarchy. I don't want to polarize the situation, but facts are, just by existing in this culture, we have developed certain associations, certain defense mechanisms. We've developed, excuse me, I need some tea, ways of survival that have actually dampened our skills in some capacity. Oh, sorry, I'm not used to this whole setup. Forgive all the crazy noises and everything. I think the feminine inner, outer, collective individual hasn't collectively felt safe, right? So we have had to reclaim our safety, and a lot of sifting through what safety means is an awakening in and of itself. So awakening to all of the reasons why. And of course, it's natural that when we kind of feel pain and we start to flow through our let's claim it, our victimhood, it's really easy to get it caught up in blaming and to labeling other, right? And so how do we get out of that? We take radical, ruthless accountability for our reality. We honor the pain. We honor all of the shitty circumstances that may or may not have happened, and we reclaim our sovereignty in this moment. Yes, this stuff happened. Yes, you had feelings about it that are valid, and you're not going to let it steal your present, and you're not going to let it steal your future. It's interesting. My throat's drying up as I'm talking about this. Yeah, so isn't that interesting or funny, like the feminine spirit drying up? So there's something about needing to water this feminine spirit, needing to parent the parts of self that, or it's like parent your inner child, your inner feminine, your inner little girl who think about life either as you yourself as a little girl, or even as an archetype of a little girl who's just like, wants to share love and picking flowers and making friends on the playground and making mud pies and getting dirty and like loving just being who she is, without judgment, without restriction, without parameters, without being told she doesn't look right enough for the world, or that her personality is not right enough for the world or good enough. You know, who was that free, sovereign little girl who just came here to experience joy and abundance? That one's getting me emotional. Yeah, we're being called feminines to reparent the parts of self that we take pride in, that we took pride in as a child, as an adolescent. And yes, on this journey, you may discover those points at which something happened to dampen your spirit. I honor how painful that process can be. And I also honor that that is your work. That's what's showing up on your side of the street that you get to take accountability for. So do not brush over your pain. I'm not saying that. I'm saying lean directly into it and take accountability for all of that beautiful, sacred life experience that you've picked up along the way. There's something so enriching about that. Even the pain, right? Even the pain, even the hardship, even all of the friction and the abrasion that may have felt. Okay, let's get some more. Let's see. Anything else for feminine spirit? Where is that? There we go. What do we have? Yeah, liberation in reverse. Yeah, we're being called to reclaim freedom and sovereignty. Anything else for feminines? Anything else for feminine spirit? This was flipped over and flipped back. Cosmic power. Yeah, it's really important when I get flippers like that, when they flip over and then flip back. So it's like the feminine has been teetering with knowing their true divine power, knowing their cosmic connection, but then having to live in a society that hasn't been maybe as welcoming, or hasn't created sacred space for that cosmic power, or hasn't valued it, right? When a skill you take pride in is not valued on a collective level, that can be incredibly damaging. But we're being called, oh, I'm dropping a million cards, hold on. I'm going to take those. We're being called, feminines, to individuate from our history. We are being called to come into our own truth, to not allow the past, present, or future to dictate who we are and who we define ourselves to be and how we define our power in this present moment. It's a really important reading. I'm going to honor that this alchemy card came out sideways. And then let's see what these are. We have creativity in reverse. And what does that say? Surrender. We have a second. Okay. I'm going to put this here. We have a second card of surrender in reverse. Feminines, it's time to surrender playing the game how you've been playing the game. Here's the thing, you might be successful in this patriarchal dynamic, but in order to be successful in a society that hasn't honored the sacred, you have to turn away from your own sanctity. There's something here that you've had to quite literally suppress, repress, cauterize some piece of your divine feminine nature in order to be a success, quote unquote, whatever that looks like in the society. And by doing that, it cuts yourself off from your feminine essence. It cuts yourself off from this feminine flow, which is what? It's where all your creativity lies. So it's not an accident to me that you have these two cards of surrender in reverse, because you're being called to surrender how you've been playing the game. Yeah, I just looked for fun. In the unconscious position, we have this brazen card. So yeah, you're pushing your boldness, your bold, brazen, juicy feminine self that is so excited to burn it all down to the ground. There's some part of your, I love the word brazen because it's like, it's just, when I think of brazen, I think of ignition, like igniting a flame. And once that flame ignites, it's like a wildfire, right? As long as it has the oxygen and the matter to burn, it will consume whatever is there. So in order to win at the, I say win, but use these terms lightly, you know what I'm saying? In order to play the patriarchal game, you've had to suppress all of this power. And throughout history, male-dominated societies who have been terrified of this feminine power have done everything they can to sully the narrative. Maybe they called you a witch. Maybe they called you, a heretic. Maybe they, like naming or vilifying divine feminine's connection to their intuition, to their greater cosmic power. Do you hear the puppies? They hear me. That's why they're barking. They're so cute. Anyway, throughout history, feminine power has been suppressed because it's been feared, right? It's, oh God. So it's our jobs to reclaim that. I just want to get something from this other deck really quick and see if anything comes out that we need. What does that say? Unlock. I mean, really? It says unlock the magic within. Magic guardian in reverse. Yeah, we're on this path back to your power, feminines. And then great teacher, learn from spiritual experiences. Part about stepping into the, it reminds me of like Alcoholics Anonymous. Like, what do they say? The first step is admitting you have a problem. I'm laughing because your first step is admitting you have a gift, feminines. Your first step is in claiming the truth of who and what you are and what your powers are. It's really easy to deny them when you grow up in a family or in a town or in a society that has repressed the value of feminine magic, of feminine power, of feminine intuition, right? So there's something here of don't look to other spiritual teachers, turn inward and look to your own spiritual experiences. Anything else for divine feminine, spirit? Anything else for divine feminines? Sorry, I'm shaking the table. Okay, let's see what these are. Okay, we have an arrow. Surround yourself with protective energy. That feels more important than ever. Shapeshifter, transform, oh my God, transform and unveil your gifts. I mean, hello, this is exactly what we're talking about. And then we have Water Guardian, connect with your emotions. So here's the thing. Our society has not created a safe and cozy space for emotional wisdom and emotional truth to be cherished and put on its rightful place on its own throne. My biggest mentor in this life is Carolyn Mace, and she said something that shook me to my core, and I'll never forget it. She said, the pursuit of emotions is the pursuit of God. And it took me many years, probably like a decade, to even understand a fraction of it. Essentially, there is a piece of our creator, of divinity, in our emotions. Our emotions are the stepping stones to our truth. And what does that truth look like? It's the authentic, most pure soul expression. So often in society, we repress our emotions, right? There's so many spots or places in our culture that do not welcome emotions. And our path as feminines is to reclaim the waters, reclaim that which lies beneath the depths. We can handle it. We know how to swim. Divine feminine energies were born. Well, we were all born in the womb. What are we in? We're in a sack full of liquid. We are in water, right? We are birthed with water. When we have powerful emotions, water comes out of our eyes, right? We are 75, 80% water. And it sounds so silly that we would repress the movement of water in our life, the movement of these emotions. Wow, this is a really powerful message, and it feels like a massive reclamation, feminines. Surround yourself with protective energy. Connect with your gifts. Transform and unveil your gifts to the world around you. You will not be led astray. Learn from your spiritual experiences and trust no one else. One of my mentors told me to go write your own holy book, right? Yes, the Bible is beautiful. The Quran, the Kabbalah, like all these holy books, they're beautiful. They're also man-made interpretations and stories. So go write your own holy book. Let me tell you, that information and knowledge that you extract is specifically built for you and only you. I actually got a little journal, a blank journal, and I started compiling my holy book. And what do I put in it? I put in it things that I discovered to be pillars of truth, meaning no matter where we are in history, no matter what's going on, this thing will always be true. And that doesn't have to be proven. You can prove it for yourself. There are things that that are true and tested for me in my life that call my spirit back from places it doesn't belong and help me anchor truth in this moment. And divine truth is all is one, right? All is one. Are we in love or fear? Can we hold our center for love in the center of chaos? Can we not abandon or betray any parts of self when they're trying to scream and communicate our truth out in the world? This is what we're doing. We're reclaiming our voice, reclaiming our gifts, stepping deeper into our own sovereignty. Interesting too, in the unconscious, we have elder, healing through the lineage. So if you have found that you have had a harder path, feminines, than most people, it's usually because that you are the person in your lineage who has been called upon to do the work, so it stops with you, right? You're being called to heal your line, your family line, or the feminine matriarchal line throughout your family. Okay, do I want to get more? I think we should stop there. This was a really powerful message. So just to recap very generally, feminines, you're being called to reclaim your spiritual gifts, whatever that looks like for you. You're being called to connect with your version of source. Doesn't matter what it looks like. It could be through traditional religion. It could be through a walk in the forest. It could be through listening to children laugh. It could be through listening to a really great playlist. Like, it doesn't matter what your experience of God is, or I say God is a general term to describe oneness or source consciousness. Reconnect with source and only derive your wisdom from your own spiritual experiences, and take a step forward based on your lived wisdom, based on the tried and true knowledge that you've accumulated, and alchemize it for yourself in this society. Bring out that brazen self and really step into that fiery power, because you've been, okay. I'm just saying the same things over and over again, but you've had this cosmic power within you the entire time. The only thing that's changed is your awareness of it. If people make you feel like you're nothing, you will start to believe it. And so we as a collective feminine are reclaiming our power, and not for destruction, not for, whatever. It's literally to reclaim our sovereignty on our own throne. We don't need to take anyone off the throne, but we also need our rightful place next to everybody else's thrones, right? Okay. I'm just going to get one of these cards to see if anything comes out. Sorry, I'm shaking everything. Anything else for feminine spirit? Anything else in this deck? Or should I end? Anything else, spirit? Of course this came out. We have go the distance and we have time to go. Yeah. You're meant to push yourselves to the point where you can access wise discernment, right? Do not take action unless you feel that resonance, unless you feel confident in that alignment in those choices. Okay, beautiful feminines. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much. I hope this was okay. I hope the audio was okay. And I will see you in the next one.